Okay, so we are going to talk about tons of different stuff, but the reason why I wanted to get Rachel on here is because I follow her on Instagram and I like stalk all of her stuff that she does, and she just has such a good Instagram like presence. And I know we are going to talk a little bit about TikToks and Reels as well, but I think there's like a giant that a lot of us are sleeping on, and that's Instagram stories. And I love you, but I go to your Instagram stories, like so, whoever on my team, I'll go to your stories and it'll be like one slide, and I'm like, we could be doing better here. Okay, so I want to teach you how to do what we're doing because both of us are enrolling people from our Instagram stories as well as TikToks, and we're using TikTok to get people to add us on Instagram. Rachel and I both talk about that on our stories. And so, because we have so many new people, using Instagram stories as a platform to talk about the products in your life and whatever, that's going to be a huge game changer because you have all these new people seeing your stories, right? So we're going to talk a lot about that. But will you just start off for the people that are brand new, a little bit about your story? You can do a short version if you want, since we've had you on a Zoom recently, but for the newbies, and then we'll go from
Yeah. Hi, you guys. Okay, I'll keep that fast because I know we got a lot of good stuff. Always an honor. Thank you, Morgan, for thinking of me. Okay, yes, I've been in it for 6 years, you guys. 6 years ago, I said yes. And it's just so crazy because I know I'm so repetitive. So some of you probably know my story like the back of your hand. But I am someone that literally gives up on everything that gets hard. That's why I'm still a little bit overweight. That's why all the other things in my life failed except for my marriage and it works. But all jokes aside, I joined this for something so temporary and it turned into something so significant. And so I was on the side of like, I wasn't searching for this. I was just I was 21 years old and I was in college with my son on government assistance. The only reason why I was still in college was because my parents were paying for my education and they were like, you're going to finish. We have put in way too much money. And so otherwise I would have been a college dropout for sure. Because it was hard to get pregnant and have my son in the middle of trying to get my college degree. And so I was sick and tired of being sick and tired, but I was only interested in the products. I couldn't afford them because I was a struggling mother. And so when I voiced that I couldn't afford them, she told me that I should join her team and make an income with her. So real quick, I joined another company fresh out of high school. I just don't talk about it often because it was like a 1 to 2 month thing. And I was like, yep, it's too hard. I'm done. And it's a company that's still around. It's just more so for older people. And I was 19 and just not in the right place for that. So I thought that I wasn't a salesperson. So I shot her down with every excuse in the book and she wanted me that much more, which was weird. So I heard her out. She didn't really say much. I just told me enough to where I was like, surely I can make a couple $100s a month. So I joined towards the end around this time of 2014. I went diamond in my first 90 days, which is great that that's back on the table because you get a really big bonus for doing that in your first 90 days. And that's what really changed our lives. And 2 months later, which was 5 months in, I got Zach's account to diamond and mine to double. And I'm aware that there might be a good portion of people on here that's like, I don't know what the heck those two promotions mean, but they were attached to really big bonuses. So 5 months in, we were making really good money as newly 22-year-olds. I was still in college. I had 2 months left. We quit our jobs, and honestly, the rest is history. We had another baby along the way. Everything with that pregnancy was different in the worst way, but at least we were both home during it. And I've had a lot of life happen up and down throughout the last 6 years, but here we are. We went to the top of the company last year, and then we got to turn around and start over from the ground up and rebuild on my 2.0. And now we're triple diamond 2.0. Going for Prez. It's very hard. It's really weird doing it again, but we're just having a lot of fun, and I'm just thankful for this business.
Sorry for the awkward pause. I was trying to unmute myself. I love it. I love your story, and I feel like it just is such a good testimony to what this business can do for people, and the fact that you weren't anything like crazy. Like, okay, I was a former CEO and I was
Yeah.
35 years old and I had tons of people that were surrounding me who wanted to order products. Like, you were a broke college student that was like, you were pregnant, and you and Zach were together, and like, it just, your life was 100% different than it is right now. Like,
Right.
And so it's just so crazy. Like, no matter who you are or what walk of life that you're in, you can be successful with this business. And it's not just like one type of person. So go ahead and put in the chat. I just like love when y'all blow up the chat. And I think Rachel does too. It's just like affirmations for me because my love language is words of affirmations. If you could just like drop stuff in the chat. Yeah, if y'all could just drop stuff in the chat to like let us know that you like what we're saying, that would be great. But really put in the chat where you're at in this life. Like, are you a college student? Are you a mom? Are you working a full-time job? Are you all of the above? Tell us where you're at because we want you to see that you're not alone, number one, and number two, that there are so many different people who are doing this business and we're all on our way to being successful, right? We're all doing the same thing and working really hard. So, all right. So we are going to talk, I have questions for you and I feel like they're really good questions. I'm excited to hear your answers, is what I mean by that. So this first question is, what keeps you motivated in every season of life and every season of the year? I'm going to break that down a little bit to explain why I'm asking this to other people. So whenever I see Rachel was hype in January and she was hype in May and she was hype today. So like, it's not just like Rachel works her business, you know, March through June and like chills and takes time off and like pieces out. You can't find her, whatever. She's consistently so hype. She's so pumped all the time. And so I want to know how she's like that all the time. And being in this business for 6 years, she's gone through another pregnancy. She's gone through, I know she moved from Indiana to Tennessee. So she's gone through life and there's different seasons that she's had doing different things in her life. So with all that going on, how do you stay so excited? How do you stay motivated? Because you talked about like you've been going for presidential for a while. So I think people are like, oh, whenever I'm hitting a promotion, I'm motivated. But whenever I'm not, I'm not. So people always ask me this too. They're like, oh, you've been, you know, going for ambassador for 2 years. I'm like, oh, thanks for the reminder. And they're like, well, how do you stay motivated? I'm like, 'cause it's not just about promoting. So talk a little bit about that.
That's really funny. I love that. I also love that you said that words of affirmation are our love language and all these people start putting hearts and I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm like, thank you.
Thanks, guys. We really appreciate you.
Just tell me I'm pretty and tell me you love me and I'm okay. You can put me over. You can do all things mean. Just tell me that you love me and I'm good. But all jokes aside, this is actually funny you say that. And it's a compliment because I'm like, okay, well, or maybe this makes me fake. No, I'm just kidding. I should stop joking around because this is a serious Zoom. But you guys, I don't stay motivated all of the time, but it makes me feel good that like, because Morgan and I, we're sidelines, but like we're both not new. So we can have those vulnerable conversations. And luckily, like we're paired up sometimes in a sense of like Ruby builders. It was yin and yang and our numbers are really similar and we'll text each other on our paychecks and they're always like neck and neck. It's just, we're always pretty similar. So we don't have to beat around the bush with each other. So the fact that like we can have that vulnerable relationship and you still think that I'm hyped all the time makes me feel like, okay, I'm doing something right. But here's what I'll say about that, you guys. I am excited about this business and I love it and I'm obsessed with it, but I just know, and I don't know what made me this way. Maybe it was like making a lot of money in this business and then kind of having it all crumble when I got pregnant and my world kind of shut down temporarily. But I've had the good and I've had the bad and I like the good more than the bad, right? I think we all like that. And I just love what I have worked my butt off so hard to create. I love it so much that like on those days that I don't want to do it, I do it because I don't want to lose it, right? And I understand that there are people on here that are like, well, I haven't even created that yet, so that doesn't apply to me. But you guys are on your way because you're on this Zoom. So if you don't have the mindset of like, oh, I can't connect with what she's saying because I'm not an ambassador making that kind of money or whatever. If you just stop like kind of keeping us separated and just realize how similar we are because we're all on this Zoom because we want to learn something new, right? We want to show up for our team. And so you're on the right path to be making that money and to change your life. So you want this, right? And so I just kind of got to this point where I'm like, I mean, I have a lazy mindset sometimes and sometimes it takes over and I don't know why I'm that way. I don't know. I pray about it all the time, but Zach, like if we're being honest, you guys, I'm not even kidding. Like Zach will pull me aside and be like, babe, you're teaching the boys like your lazy tendencies. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I just like to take the easy way out. I don't know. So because I know how I am, I have to work super hard. So just know that like, there's nothing wrong with you. If you wake up in the morning and you're like, I don't really want to do this, that is still me. Honestly, the past 7 days I've woken up and I'm like, oh man, I just want a vacation. Like, I just don't really want to do it works, but I've still signed distributors every day. I've signed 4 customers today. Like, I just love my life so much that I treat this like a job. So that's what I would tell you guys is like, it's such a double-edged sword. We get to work this business on our own time. That's good and it's bad. But if we treat this like the job that we would go to if we had a 9 to 5, you couldn't slack off in that job, you know? So I just know, like, this is my job, right? If I don't get my stuff together, what are we going to do? I have too many dreams. And so what I would say on the times that, like, when it's really hard, and maybe people don't see it, I'm always honest with my team, but I'm not always honest in the moment, because like I said, my mind easily goes to the lazy, give me all the easy way out. It's like, I'm going to take a right instead of taking the long way. Like, I want the easiest way to do everything. It's just how I've always been. But with that being said, I know it's not always that way. So what I do is, like, when I come out, if only you guys knew, like, July and August, they were the hardest months. And I feel like I said this on a Zoom, I think yesterday, but like, while everybody was getting hit with the hardships in the beginning, like around February and March, when like this crazy pandemic happened and everyone was trying to figure out what to do, I didn't deal with that. It wasn't hard for our team. I don't know. I think it's because we addressed the elephant in the room and we were like, let's do this and let's not fall back while everybody else is panicking. So we were killing it. We were doing awesome. But then our team, some of our team took a hit when everybody was going back to work and homeschooling. And so like, when I say took a hit, like, we took a hit. I was so close to going presidential and now I am so far, but I am in the best headspace because I'm just so excited about what I have my hands on. So during July and August, when things were so hard and I wasn't motivated and I saw like my volume crumbling and people, I was losing some of like my favorite key players, right? Like some people that I'm like, whoa, you weren't supposed to leave type of deal. I just worked really hard and I didn't address it until I was out of it. Because if I address it when I'm in it, then I'm going to just talk crap and let's just, woe is me. Let's all cry about how hard It Works is, right? We do that. And so when I get out of that and I try to get out of it as fast as I can, but I'm only human, I talk about it and I address it. And so I don't want someone else to expose like the issues that I'm involved in. Does that make sense? So like, I've always been an open book with my team in the sense of like, well, times were really hard 2 weeks ago. I don't know if you caught on or not, but we're out of it. And this is what we're going to do to catapult us to the end of the year. But I'm going to be really honest and tell you that my check went down 10,000 and I'm not happy, but I'm human and I deal with those struggles too. That's what I do. And so I just want you guys to know, I don't always want to do this business, but I am so obsessed with my life. And if you're on the other side and you're like, I'm not obsessed with mine yet, be obsessed with the vision you have for your life. And this business is that vehicle to get you there. And so I personally think that, and I'm not trying to just give you the perfect answer. I really feel like if you're obsessed with those dreams you have for yourself and you're obsessed with your why, well, why the heck would you slack off? I mean, easier said than done, let's be honest, but you're here for a reason. So that's what I would say, Morgan. I'm not motivated all the time, but I just don't want to lose everything I worked so hard for. So that's why I work hard every day and I'm loud and proud about it.
I love that. And I think it's Ashley Mayfield that says, like, I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew what I didn't want. And like, I didn't know what I was running to, but I knew what I was running from. And so she talks a lot about like, I don't have to necessarily know what it is that I'm going for, but I know what I don't want to go back to. And so sometimes that's enough motivation right there. Like Rachel was talking about, that she just wakes up every day and says like, I don't have a choice, you know? And she said that she treats this like a job. And you know, people don't show up to their business every day and they're like, well, why am I not getting paid? I'm like, if you didn't show up to your job, would you get paid? No. And you'd probably get fired. So like, why would you treat this any differently and expect a different outcome? And it's funny that you say like this week, especially, you weren't very motivated. You were like, nah, I didn't really want to work this week. You would never stinking know that by her Instagram. And here's what I want you to realize is that most of you love you to death, but I can tell the days that you wake up and don't want to do this business. Yeah. Okay. The difference between the ones who wake up and want to do this business and the ones who wake up and do this business and the ones who don't, it's not necessarily because one wants to and one doesn't. It's because one's disciplined and one is not. So be the one who's disciplined. Be the one who shows up when you don't feel like it. Be the one who shows up like Rachel whenever she said that like this week she like didn't feel motivated or whatever. Last night I was watching her story and I was like, ooh, I should probably post on my story more. I should probably do like a distributor opportunity Zoom. I should probably make another TikTok. I should probably do a lot. Like she was like motivating me to work harder. And I had already done a lot yesterday. Like I did all my stuff, so I didn't have any reason to feel that way. But I was like, dude, she's killing it. She's killing the game. She's always on her story. She's doing all the things. And this is great. And so that just inspires me so much that it's not about if she feels like it or if she doesn't. And how many of us would change our business if we adopted that same mentality? Where I had no idea by looking at your social media whether or not you felt like doing this business, right? Because some of you, you post when you feel like it and you don't when you don't feel like it. And
Yeah.
I can see the difference. But on even my best days or my worst days, hopefully you can't see the difference on my social media. And it's not because I'm not talking about the hard days. It's not because I'm saying, oh, today was perfect. Absolutely loved today. And it sucked. It's not because I'm being fake. It's because I'm saying, hey, today was really hard, but thank goodness for this business. Because I don't know what I'd do without it, and I'm able to do this and make this income or whatever. And I'm talking about the hard times, but I'm not letting that affect me to where I'm not doing the things that it takes to be consistent. I'm not avoiding the work that I know it takes to be successful. So, okay, that was so good. Okay, next question is talk about how you set small goals for yourself. So again, going back to your Instagram story, because this is just like where I see all of your stuff. But so you did this thing a couple of weeks ago, and then I totally copied you. I don't know if you saw it, but I did. And you were like, I'm gonna sign X amount of LCs for Thermofite X. And she was like, I just did this contest for myself just because I just thought it'd be fun. Like, I love that you do that because I think that would motivate people because and you're a yellow, so I want to say that too because if y'all know the color personalities and you're like, well, I'm not a red, I'm not motivated by money. Rachel loves to like just go after goals, like just certain goals. Like she just sets goals for herself, Millionaires Club, getting ambassador, going presidential, doing all these things, getting top 10. Those are goals that she has. And so those are the things that motivate her more. So she sets goals for herself like that. And then she did like 15 distributors for this month, which you more than doubled. So congratulations, almost at 40, if you 39, 40, I don't know. But you killed it. So you set all these random goals for yourself. So why do you do that? How does that keep you motivated? Where does that come from? Why do you do it? And then how do you go about getting the hype up behind those things? Because you post a lot about the distributors that you're signing, and I think that inspires people to do it that are on the fence.
Yeah, for sure. And I just get sometimes, I don't know. I'm telling you guys all my flaws. I'm just being so honest. And some of you guys are gonna be like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. She's like a broken, she's a mess. But I mean, I'm telling you, I'm lazy. I'm telling you, I'm just I'm emotionally unstable and I get bored easily. And so my thing is like, instead of looking left and right and looking for corporate to like drop a huge incentive, even though like, give me all the competitions, please, please, which is more of a red personality. And maybe I am becoming more red. I don't know. But I just like new stuff, like something that drives me. I like money. And of course I would like to make like more. I'd love to make 70,000 a month. I'd love to do all of these things, but I also know like there are stepping stones to it. And I also know if I do the same thing over and over again, eventually I'll get bored of it. And so, yeah, I just randomly do these little goals. And the thing is because we've stepped away from that. And I know not everybody on here joined when I think Morgan, maybe you're at 5 years. I don't know. We're similar, but I joined in 2014 and what we used to always do, and then for some reason we just stopped, is we were always talking about our goals, and it was just on little sticky notes everywhere on our computer. Double diamond, 5,000 a month, like all of these goals all the time. And we also we were so obsessed with it that on the first of every month we would have it would be, happy November, here are my goals on Facebook. I'm going to sign 7 loyal customers, 3 distributors. I want 50 new promotions. Like we posted it on the first clockwork everywhere. And we all talked about it all the time. And then we kind of just stopped doing it, or we only do it in the boom season. And so I don't know, I just kind of love to do it. So I just think of random things. And I was thinking about that at the beginning of October is man, I'm not telling anyone my goals anymore because I know I'm pretty far from Pres. I'm trying to make it sound sugarcoat it, but I'm very, very far from presidential. So it's not even one of those things where I can be like, I'm going to go Friday and tell everyone. I would be lying. It's not physically possible at this point. So I know that instead of saying I'm going to go Pres, I'm let's just take it back a notch and see what's actually my reality. And so I took it down to how many customers. And I started doing that because I stepped away from signing customers. And then I stepped away from signing distributors. And for the past 4 to 5 months, I've signed 3 to 6 distributors every month, which is great. If you are doing that, you're doing your steps to success maybe once, maybe twice, that's awesome. But I follow Morgan, I follow Shay, I follow people, and success leaves clues. And I'm like, I haven't had a boom like that in a while. Like I haven't had all these people like swarming into my inbox. And so my goal was 15 DTs this month. And so I got prepared. And so I made I copied Claire actually. I did not make my own. I copied Claire, and I just used that little template on Over that's like October positions open. And then I have the cell phone and the 1, 2, 3. Do not use the excuse of, I don't know how to do it. Morgan, Shay, Ashley Pfluger, like we all just would be like, hey, can you send me that? Can you send me that video you made? Like, I'm not scared to do that because we're one team, one mission, and we help each other out when maybe we're struggling with creativity. So, and you also practice makes perfect. So anyways, I got out that template and I'm like, okay, 15 DTs. So I label it 15. I got out my notebook and I'm like 15 DTs. I labeled it to 15 and I'm ready for it. I'm doing all of the things. And I know I also talked about this last night, but I'll say it again if you just didn't catch our team Zoom that Shay, me, and Brittany Landrum did. But like I set myself up for the boom before the boom actually happened. So I knew I wanted this crazy October that I couldn't even like fathom because usually it's close to the holiday season. So usually we have to work a little bit harder. It's not necessarily slow, but it's a little bit slower, right? And so I'm like, let's just try to do it. We have TikTok, we have Reels, we have all of the things. So I set myself up for that blow up before it came in the sense of getting my heart ready, getting my head ready, getting my schedule ready. Like I'm prepared for it. I made a new system for new distributors, and it's not anything magical. Just for us personally, we were kind of struggling with how do we train our new DTs? And I just called it 5 to Thrive. And it's just a 5-step process on just like when you join, these are your first 5 steps. Again, it's not the end all be all. It's just something new. And the last step was like, okay, now what are the actions that are going to get me these 15 DTs? And so I started really diving into TikTok and stuff, which I won't dive super into that yet, but talking about the goal thing, I will fall short of my goals if I don't plaster it everywhere. The only thing I fall short on every single time is when I put all over my social media that I'm going to lose 30 pounds. And then in 3 days, I'm eating pizza like tonight. I don't know what's wrong with me. That's the one thing I keep stopping. I'm just meant to be big. I don't know. It's so hard. But every other time when I put goals out there, I hit them because they're plastered all over my social media. It's my diary. Everyone sees my business. So I put it out there for that accountability. I tell my team. And so I wanted to do that challenge for the ThermoFight X. I came short, but I signed a bunch of customers because I put it out there. And I just make these graphics and I do them randomly. And the TFX one I also did, Morgan, because I was thinking about it. And as I'm in these conversations, this overwhelming amount of conversations this month, I've had so many people be like, I'm stalking your Instagram, but like, I don't understand what you do. That's what they were saying in the beginning of October. I don't get what you do. I'm not seeing any products. Like I'm so dumbfounded. And I was like, I don't know if this is good or bad. Like I got nothing about It Works products up on my Instagram because I was just caught up in like not wanting to look spammy. I don't know what it is. So I just started not caring, but caring, if that makes sense. So like last night I was so freaking dead tired, but I'm like, man, I got all these people on the fence. I just need to use my ring light. I need to just take out my freaking hair out of my greasy ponytail and just put my glasses on, look like I'm fake pretty. And I just talked about it. And I was like, here's the deal. You guys are all asking, and that was real. But there are days too where people aren't asking me how to join. And I say that they are, you guys. I just think it's just showing everybody that you're continuously working and that people are talking to you. And so as I'm doing this and I wake up this morning, it's been so fun. Every single day this month, I've woken up to my Instagram having so many messages. And the crazy thing is like, it's my message requests, it's in my inbox, and then it's swipe ups. And so that graphic that I told you where it was labeled 15, every single time I sign a distributor, I add their name to the graphic and I post it to my story. Before October, no one cared about it. I mean, at least I didn't have any action from it. I just thought it was cool because I'm like, hey, 3 DTs, 4 DTs, 5 DTs. Okay, now I'm done. Well, now I'm doing it every single day and people are seeing it. So when I wake up, I have at least, and I'm not even exaggerating, I have at least 10 swipe ups that say income, because at the top of that graphic it says October positions open. If you're interested in an extra income, type income. And I've never had that. So now I wake up every morning and I'm like, let's check the inbox. Like I'm so excited because I've put my goals out there. I'm continuously updating them. And I think that's a mistake we're making too, is we're doing stuff and then we're falling short, or we're half ASSing it and then we just don't do it. Like we'll say, like I've seen so many people put that graphic up like, let's do 12 TFXs in 24 hours. And then they never ever update it. Okay. And so it's just like, you got to stick to what you're doing. And I've always admired that about Ashley Pfluger. Like, she'll stick to a product and she'll talk about it for 4 days in a row and she'll update it. I'm like, can I be a customer? Like, you guys got to go all in with what you're doing and don't be afraid to be about it works. And so I think I did like 12 slides last night, 12 video slides. And I even addressed it. I was like, who even knows if anyone's listening to me at this point, but I need to get it out there. I talked about how I was about to go watch How to Get Away with Murder. Like, I'm talking about it, but I'm also sharing my life and hoping that if they just stay paying attention to me, I am a real person. I'm just obsessed with my job. So hopefully that answered what you were saying.
Yes, that is so good. So I'm gonna put your Instagram handle in here just so people can go and watch like what you're talking about. But it's so good because you do update it. So like even I know that, like, I know how many DTs you've signed this month, you know, and
Yeah.
you have no idea how many I've signed probably because I'm not doing what you're doing.
No, I do. You're almost to 20, right?
Yes. Well, actually, I don't know if I know how many people I've signed.
I just saw you were like, no, I see your stuff all the time.
Something like that. Yeah. And I have people do the swipe up thing too, and like where they respond back to those things because I'm consistently posting, and you keeping people updated and saying like, I had this many people sign up, or like, oh, people are interested. And like, you'll even say like, oh, people are on the fence. And if that's you, just say yes. Cause why not? Like, you're worth more, blah, blah. So like doing all of those things consistently is how she gets so many people interested. And so one thing I want to say too is if you're struggling with views, and I'll let you speak on this too if you want, but somebody mentioned like, oh, I need to figure out a way to get more views. The way that Rachel keeps people coming back to her Instagram story is that she also posts her family having dinner. She also posts whenever she has her Orange Theory fitness classes. She also posts whenever she's doing Zooms with her team and showing the life that she gets to live because of this business, showing, you know, a walk that she went on, and like just showing her life, talking about How to Get Away with Murder, and like talking about random stuff that's not about this business. And if I were to say, so if I had to tell you about Rachel's life and she wasn't on here, I'd be able to do it just from her Instagram. And if I can't do that with you, you're not doing it right. If I don't know about you and your family and your life through your Instagram story, that's why you don't have very many views. If you have less than, I would say, 5 or 6 slides on your Instagram story right now, you're doing it wrong. Because I don't care what people say, and not everybody agrees with this theory, but the more slides, the better. The more you post on your story, the better. When I have like 4 slides up, like on my Sabbath, whenever I'm just posting about my life, like I'm not posting about the business, I'll have 4 slides. My views are half what they are. When I have 20 something slides, and I'm not saying make them like the little bitty dots where it's like so annoying, but like have a lot of stuff. And like, okay, Rachel and we work from home. I don't have kids here yet, and I have a dog. My husband, he like works, like we're not full-time family, we don't travel all the time, like we're not doing all of this stuff. And so I struggle sometimes with what to post. So I think of things ahead of time that I can post about. So I've started thinking about recipes I can try so that I have something to post about. Like I'm just thinking about different stuff very intentionally to have something to talk about. So if you do have kids, great, talk about them, talk about your family. Throw that in the middle of the slides about the cleanse. Throw that in the middle of a video of your face, okay? Talking about the cleanse or the Thermal Fight X, or you using the collagen, or you making your coffee, because if you're not showing your face in your story, you're doing it wrong, okay? So show your face, have more than 5 or 6 slides every single day, and talk about your life. If I don't know who you are by just going to your Instagram story, you're doing it wrong, okay? So think about those things whenever you're posting. Is there anything that you want to add to that about how to grow your viewers?
No, that's so good. But here's what I'll just say real quick. And it was perfect because you teed me up because you said, show your face, you guys. So there's people, I just know that there are going to be people on here, bless your soul, that will now be like, okay, I'm on it, Morgan. And now you're just going to post 50 bajillion slides to get all of them up. So you guys, when I try to talk to my team about this, I just like remind everybody, and I don't know who initially said this, but I was so over Instagram. I'm just not good at it. I mean, I'm getting good at it. The last 60 days, I feel like I've gotten better at it and I'm enjoying it now, but it wasn't my strong suit because realize I didn't have it until I was a triple diamond, and I was late to the party on it. And so I was just defeated. And I'm like, I never wanted to be consistent on it. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of doing the lazy route. Well, someone started talking about like, in order to like have fun doing Instagram and like be consistent, like just treat it like it's your vlog, like your video diary of your people throughout the day, and all your followers want to be a part of that. And I'm like, okay, if I think about it as like my vlog, because I don't have one that sounds pretty fancy and cool, it's like, what do I do throughout the day? No, I just like Morgan. I mean, I do have kids to kind of use them as fluff for like cute little fillers, but I send them to school and I don't feel bad about it. So they're not home all day. And I just honestly, I'm a homebody, and I was before freaking quarantine. And now I'm like, honestly, I just don't ever want to leave now. And so I don't have all the stuff to post ever either. But when I think about that, I open up my Instagram, I pay attention, and I'm like, I haven't been on here in a second. What am I doing throughout the day? If someone were to follow me, if it was a family member that lived in freaking South of Africa and they were like, I can only see you through your Instagram, what would I show them, right? And I love this because like Morgan makes your coffee every day, and she does it differently, but it's always bright. And I watch you make your coffee and hear what you say as if I'm a potential, because I'm like, just looks good. And I just like, I want to make my coffee. Lately I've been putting a lot of time into How to Get Away with Murder. I'm not proud of it, but I just can't get over the addiction. I'm bringing that into my story. So don't just do slide. Here's a screenshot. Like have a variety with it, you guys. And I'm aware of that. I don't know, I'm not the perfect person with Instagram, but I'll pay attention to mine and be like, okay. And that's why I did the videos last night. And then I threw in Elijah because I'm like, I'm getting a little too it worksy because I'm like really feeling the fire, and that's not wrong. But I'm like, I need to record the prayer we do at dinner, and like just to show them that we are real and we do have dinner as a family. Like I need to spice it up, and I'm aware of that, you guys. So don't just take the easy way out and just show all these pictures of pick 2, pick 3, all of this stuff. Make sure you're trickling everything in and not just being an advertisement, because I pay attention. Like I follow 2,000 people and I look at their Instagram stories, and when it's boring and I don't see anything, I'm like, click, 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 click. I'm not even paying attention. So when you guys are also like videoing yourself, like I might still be up from last night. It's not been 24 hours yet, but I had like 12 video slides of me because I just ramble like I'm doing right now. And so in order to make people continue to hopefully listen, I made it look a little bit pretty. So like before I posted them, I was like changing up the font, adding an emoji, doing all of the things just to make it look a little prettier, so people knew I am a real person. I don't just say this stuff all the time. So just sometimes you have to take the longer way around things and like actually take the time to make it look good. And just remember, people are following you for a reason. Invite them into your life and show them what you're doing, and just don't be lazy with it.
Yeah, and one thing I wanted to say too, speaking of the words that you put up yesterday, like it makes it prettier so people can like stay around. But also Tiffany Herr said on a Zoom once, and I never thought about this, but I do it. So you're gonna be like, oh yeah. She said that most people watch Instagram stories on silent, no words. So when you are doing videos of yourself, if you watch my videos where I'm talking, I'm literally writing out what I say in short form. Like I'm saying what I'm saying in my text on the screen, so that if they watched it completely muted, that they are going to know exactly still what I'm talking about. They're still going to swipe up. They're still going to ask me questions. And also be encouraged too, because this isn't like oh, I'm going to start this tomorrow and I'm going to wake up with 10 info or income messages, or you're not going to wake up with your inbox completely flooded tomorrow. Okay. I'm just telling you, it's going to take time, because Rachel and I didn't just start this yesterday. We've been consistently doing it. We've been consistently adding to our network. We've been getting people joining us on Instagram and following us on Instagram from TikTok, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But be consistent with your stories. So how many slides do you need up minimum per day? I would say at least more than 5 or 6, at least, like OMG, at least. Okay. And like, if you feel like your life is boring, welcome to the club. Most days my life is not super exciting. So if I'm like, oh, I need some content, I literally will go outside and record my backyard, and people will swipe up on it. They don't care what it is, dude. We love reality TV. And this is like reality TV. So they're like, oh, I just want to see what your life is like. Like, I want to know what you're eating. Like, we freaking watch the Kardashians. What is that? It's just an Insta story of their whole life. Like, and theirs is a little bit more exciting than mine. But we like to see we like to see what makeup they wear, what clothes they wear. Like, it just makes stuff up, And I like what Courtney Bohr does too. And I'm not like advocating that you go spend a ton of money online shopping, but I'm saying if that is what you do already, she loves to online shop and she uses it as a platform because she loves that. So she shares everything she buys. She talks about the makeup she uses. She talks about the clothes. And so that's 100% not my thing. So I don't really do that. I'm like, yo, these workout pants, no, these new sweatpants I got, they're awesome. Like that's more me. But anyways, um, so, um, find something that you like to do. And if you don't like to do anything, then make up something. Like start cooking, start coming up with recipes. And that's what I started doing to have more content. So just talk about your life and incorporate the business into that. Okay. So the next thing that I want to talk about is, before we get into TikToks and Reels, just really quick, talk about I said excitement breeds excitement. So like your excitement, you were like catching your own excitement and you're like, I'm excited. Oh, now I'm really excited. Like, and you just keep feeling that fire. And I feel like that what's missing from so many people right now, if we're being honest, is that we're not excited. And I don't know where that came from, where the lack of excitement came from. I'm hype, but I'm not always hype. I feel really great this week. Last week I wasn't super excited. So I have my ups and downs too. But I feel like whenever I'm excited and I like set a goal for myself, like she was talking about, and I just like do little things, it makes me excited. It gets me hype again and reminds me why I love this business. So talk about how you get excited to work and make it fun. Cause you said if it's not fun, you're not going to do it. You get bored really easily. And I know you and I talked earlier this year, cause we do have a lot of those like just conversations. You were like, dude, I feel so burnt out. Like I don't want to do anything. I just like, I'm chilling right now for a sec because I just like, I feel like I just need to catch my breath. Like this was such a big, huge run for me and my team. And now I'm just like breathing for a sec. And that was, I don't know, June, July, something like that. And so now I feel like you're kind of like back at it. What was the turning point for you in that? And what got you excited and what keeps you excited?
Yeah, this is a good question. And you guys again, I kind of think that we mess it up in our heads by thinking like you have to have these big paychecks or these high ranks to be excited. And you get to create that excitement for yourself, which is sometimes easy, sometimes hard. But um, honestly, for me, it was like I was feeling so defeated because here we were so close to presidential. Volume was like, if we're just being really vulnerable and transparent, my volume was 77,000. You need 100. So I was pretty stinking close. And right now I'm at 30,000 with my 2.0. So like, that's how hard I took a hit. But I have so many people excited. We were just on the most craziest run ever. And then it just kind of halted because everybody went back to work at once. And unfortunately, a majority of people that joined me this year, they joined during quarantine as this being their plan B. It just was plan A during that. So once like quarantine kind of lifted, their plan A was to go back to their job, and that's fine. And I mean, I've talked to so many leaders, and I remember just being so emotional because I was like, wait, I like love these people though. Like I don't want them just to be in my life for a season. And maybe it was Cami, I don't know. I've talked to so many people and they were just like, you're not in charge of how long somebody necessarily stays. And some people really are meant to be in our business for just a couple months at a time. And so I just kind of, instead of just being sad about all the people that maybe weren't working the same or weren't working at all, I was like, I mean, it's just going to keep on going down if I don't figure it out. So I know that the answer is bringing in new blood. But again, I got defeated because I'm like, but I don't sign a bunch of distributors anymore. That's not my thing. Like I sign a bunch of customers. And just because I've signed 39 DTs this month doesn't mean I can do that every month. Like I'm actually physically a little bit dying. I'm really tired and I'm just really kind of over this, but I'm loving it. I'm still having so much fun because it's like, it's rewarding, right? So for me, it's like, I figured out what is the thing that's making me unhappy. Well, I'm focusing on all the people that aren't doing this anymore. I'm focusing on my volume dropped significantly. I'm focusing on, well, if I could show them that if they just do this a little bit more, like all the things I was hoping I could put a Band-Aid over and fix, instead of doing and stopping that and pouring into like, what if I just start presenting the opportunity more and put my all into these potential videos, TikTok, all of the things, I will bring in new people. But for me, that was difficult because I'm like, here I am like comparing someone that's a diamond to someone that like, I'm going to have to teach and build up to diamond. Like I want the one that already went diamond to keep on working, right? Like obviously. And so for me, and I'm not even just all like blaming the team. I'm not even saying that. We had a huge adjustment. And again, it's like everyone went back to work at the same time and I wasn't prepared for that. So I just knew I had to create it myself and I knew no one else was going to. I'm grateful for the bonuses corporate has. I'm grateful for all these things, but like nothing changes if nothing changes. And that's what will lead into like TikTok and Reels. But I just was tired of, if we're being honest, just like the B word all the time, like bitching to Zach about everything. I'm just like, I'm just annoyed. Like, I'm so annoyed. We were so close. And it just got really annoying. And it was like a 2-month process. So anyways, sorry, that was a really long-winded answer, but I was just aware of all the things I didn't like. And I'm like, I can't really change any of this. I can't control it, but I can control bringing in new people and bringing in that energy. And even though I'm whooped and I'm drained and I don't know if I can sign another distributor this month, I'm so excited for the handful of people out of these DTs that are so freaking fired up, acting like they're Ambassador Diamonds. And I'm like, man, I just had to take more time to pour into them.
I love that. So put a 1 in the chat if you feel like you need some more excitement in your business and that you're ready to create that excitement for your own business, because you can. And that's the good news, is that you can create that excitement. You can be the one to be the forefront, the forerunner of that excitement, and you don't have to wait on some outside circumstance to bring that excitement to you. And how sad is that? Like, if we're sitting there waiting on something over here to happen that we can't control to make us excited, why not take it into your own hands and say, I'm going to shift my focus from what I can't control and go away, stop looking at the volume that I lost, the people that I lost, these things that I lost, and having this lack mentality, and shift to the people that are here, the ones that are still working, the ones who are enrolling, the ones who are excited. And if you don't have anyone excited left, when's the last time that you completed your steps of success?
Yeah.
That's my question to you, because I think a lot of you feel like you are spinning your wheels and you're like, well, no one on my team is working. Like, I feel like I'm just doing this all by myself. You should never feel like you're doing it all by yourself when you were completing your steps of success. And that is the 6 customers and the 3 distributors. Because if you're bringing in 3 new people at least every single month, someone is going to stick, even if it's for a month or 2, to carry you into the ones who do stick for longer, right? And so you're never going to have to feel like you're doing it completely alone. Even in the times in my business where I felt like I went diamond by myself, I would have 1 person working. I would have 2 people working when I went double, right? And it's not this whole massive army, but it's my focus. If I'm focused on the 2 who are and bringing in new people, I'm going to be so much more excited than if I'm focused on the 2 who are, or the whole the group of people who are not excited, right? Does that make sense? So exactly what you said. Okay, so we have like 12 minutes left. So let's spend the rest of the time talking about TikToks and Reels, because that's really, you said you've grown your Instagram a ton with TikToks and Reels. And so a lot of people are like, how do I grow my followers? Use TikToks and Reels. How do I sign DTs? Use TikToks and Reels. So let's talk a little bit about that, because we talk a lot about this, but we also have new people and you have to repeat yourself 82,000 times as a leader. So here's time number 82,001. So hopefully if you have not started TikToks and Reels yet, you will after this Zoom.
Yes, you guys. So here's the thing with that. I've been doing TikTok since February, and even since February, I was late to the party because I was anti. I just didn't want it to work. I just wanted it to go away so bad, and then it was here to stay, and I'm like, I better get it together here. So I was doing it since February, but what shifted was this month when so we did summer camp. So we had summer camp was at the end of September, and I had like 10 of my diamond and aboves come to stay at my house, and one of my triples was like, let's go make TikToks, and she made us all get ready, and I'm like, oh, I want the outcome, but I don't want to actually physically do the TikToks. And we spent like 4 hours doing it. We were just doing it, having a blast, and they were so dumb but so great and awesome. And I was just thinking about it, and we were all sharing this one tripod. One of my girls brought a selfie stick tripod, and I didn't have one of those, and I'm like, wow, this is so convenient. And we were rotating, doing our thing, and then switching off the eye thing, and I'm like, okay, I need a tripod. So after that, I bought the ring light tripod, you guys, and this is literally all it looks like, and it's just like $30 on Amazon. This is it. It's just this little dinky. I could probably break it in half, like it's not anything significant. I think we just don't want to do it because we think it's like $50 bajillion. So I just bought one of those, and I'm like, I'm ready to like step up my game a little bit, because I was doing the videos, but I was like, they kind of look a little like, they almost look like foggy and just like I'm holding on to it, and it's just my face, and I'm not even like in love with my body. So I just was like, I need to figure something out. So I bought a ring light at the beginning of this month. And it's just perfect because I can set my thing up. I don't have a super perfect background. I'm just in my office, and I started doing 3 TikToks a day. And so I did all my homework prior to October, in the sense of like knowing who was a reliable person I could follow on TikTok and saving their videos and just knowing what works and what doesn't work. And then I started practicing and like literally making TikToks. And the first time I did it was like the beginning of October, like maybe October 1st or 2nd. It took me like 90 minutes, and I was almost in tears. I was like, this is defeating. I look like a loser. I hate every second of it. this. I was wearing a jean jacket. If you really go scroll on my TikTok, you'll see where I started. A jean jacket. I was dripping. I'm like, this is just not what I want to spend my time doing. But I knew that it would just get easier and easier and easier. And they looked good after I found the right ones. And so I did 3 a day on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we had our ambassador coffee chat, and we're just talking, and I'm listening and working while I'm listening. And we were just all talking about it. And Kelly Brown was talking about like, oh, I had a video blow up. So of course, success leaves clues. I listen. I'm always listening, you guys. So pause real quick. This is why these Zooms are so important, and family calls. No, technically I don't probably need to be on every single family call. Like, I mean, I technically could probably take a week off and be okay, but I never know what I'm going to miss. And I love when they shout out the enrollers and stuff because I listen, and I'm like, whoa, like when they put Lauren up there, I was like, she didn't like TikTok. I need to call her. I called her. I'm like, how are you sending all these people? She was like, TikTok. I'm listening to all these things. And so I hear Kelly say her video blew up, and I'm like, okay, I didn't follow her on TikTok. I went to her TikTok, saved it. Right after that Zoom, I recreated it, posted it, the same exact one, and it now has 400,000 views. And it was the first opportunity video to go viral, and it was insane. And I had over 1,200 applications, and that was only day 4 of me doing 3 a day. And so day 1 and day 2, I was stressed. I was like, let's actually be strategic. I was like, let's look at the graphic that tells you the best times to post for TikTok. That didn't make a difference. It got a little bit too stressful for me. And once I make something hard, I'm like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do it if it's hard. So I just was like, I'm going to post it whenever I post it. I'm just going to post all 3 at the same time. So I stopped paying attention to the times to post like day 3, and my video went viral on day 4 or day 5. And so I just kept doing 3 videos. I would save them. I wouldn't do anything specific. Some days I would do 3 opportunity ones. Other days I would do 1 inspiring one where I'm just lip syncing, or one of the put your finger downs. Like, I just was doing 3 a day and knocking them out. And the reason I was doing 3 a day, well, but I was also seeing people like having it look really pretty in the sense of like the same outfit for the whole row, and then the different outfit, and then it just all looked really good. And I'm like, I'm just going to follow what they do. And the best thing about doing 3 a day at the same time is one of them surely is going to get more views than the other. And maybe it's not the one that goes viral, but one latches on. And so the best thing for me is like, I've done 3 a day, and then I pay attention to whichever one's my favorite, and I put that one to TikTok. Or sorry, to the Instagram reels. So now on the days, like, I'm not doing TikToks every day now, because I've just barely been hanging on by a thread. But the cool thing is like, I do 1 reel every single day, but I haven't had to physically make one because I did 3 a day for like 2 weeks straight on TikTok. And so now I can use one from 2 weeks ago because they all save. And so that's been the best part. So posting whenever for TikTok has been great. Anytime after 11 a.m. I've noticed has been okay. Sometimes it's at night. I swore by it only being at night, but that one was posted at 11 o'clock a.m. and it went viral. Probably about an hour in, and then it just spiraled out of control. But with reels, I found that when you post it like right when you wake up, it has all day long just to get these views, and it just goes and goes. But even so, like, I have one right now that's raising. It's got like 90,000 views on my reels. It's like my third latest one. But that didn't spike up until like 4 days later. And so anyways, it's just, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just doing what we're telling you to do. 1 reel a day. Sometimes I do 2 because I'm like, I just am addicted. At this point, like, I feel like I'm becoming addicted to it, and I'm obsessed. And it's just so cool to see, because I have been in the 8,000 follower range for so long, probably like 3 years now, and I haven't been able to get past it. And I'm over 9,000 now, and it's probably like 1,500 new followers in the past month, which isn't even a lot compared to what everybody else is doing. And so that's the fun stuff. And then even like, sorry, I know I'm really rambling at this point, but it's like so addicting and so fun because I've been consistent that like I screenshotted my Facebook post of looking for product models, and I put that on my Instagram story, which I never do that stuff because I'm just like, Instagram, I feel like you got to be a model. And you don't, but I'm just insecure. And I put that on there, and I had 3 people swipe up and say, me, I want the info. And I signed a customer from Instagram, which some of you guys might be doing that all the time. I did that. I texted Morgan while she was texting me, and I was like, I'm going to be late. I'm signing someone. She's from Instagram and from Canada. Well, she came from TikTok. She watched my opportunity video, followed me on Instagram, now became a customer because of my slide. It's just all comes full circle, and it's literally just being consistent. So stop, like, and I'm going to be really aggressive for a second. I'm just starting to get kind of like a little bit annoyed and agitated at like everybody giving the excuse of I don't know how to do it, or like I don't dance. I don't either. I'm overweight. I don't have the best moves. I don't want people to see my whole body. I don't even have the best style. I just like to be comfortable. I don't like doing it either, but I like the results, and I'm tired of seeing other people outwork me and have better results. And I'm over here like twiddling my thumbs, not knowing when I'm going to sign a distributor next. So instead of I'm not even going to look at the chat room. I love you so much, but I just don't want to see anyone say, I don't know how to do it. Figure it out and practice. If only you knew how much time I spent like saying, I would say goodnight to Zach and then roll over and be on my phone for like 2 hours, and he'd roll over and be like, get off your phone. And I'm like, I'm doing, I was physically like paying attention to TikToks because it was foreign to me. I'm like, I don't even know how to work this app, but I watched and I watched and I saved and I saved, and now I can just crank it out. I can't invent my own stuff, but I can recreate Morgan's really, really fast, and I'm not sweating and stressed out. So my thing is just figure it out as soon as you can and do 3 a day on TikTok, pull 1 over on Instagram. And then I usually just do a cover photo. And that's really it. I don't really think I have any other tips on that. I'm just so consistent and I'm loving it now. It's really fun.
I love what you said about like just freaking do it, because it's almost like you're overthinking it. Get over yourself. Like, do you want results or do you want to be in your comfort zone? Like, I mean, if you keep saying that you don't have it figured out, you're never going to try to figure it out. You've already made it up in your mind that you don't have it figured out. But the attitude that we had, like TikTok was brand new to every single person at one point. So we looked at that and we were like, I don't have it figured out yet, but I'm willing to try. And so we tried and I failed, and I made a lot of like really dumb TikToks, and I didn't delete them. They're still up there. Like, and they look so dumb, but I don't even care because it's been worth it for the results that I've had. So let's just do this really quick, because I think this would be cool. If you found this business through TikTok, put a 2 in the chat really quick.
Ooh.
Because I know Taylor, my girl Taylor signed up with me. Jordan, she's a diamond, or she's almost a diamond. Bree is almost a diamond. She signed up with me. Haley signed up with me. All Chastity from TikTok. Alicia from TikTok. Megan from TikTok. I did not enroll Megan, but I enrolled the others. And they're all from TikToks. And some of them are like almost diamond. Chastity went ruby already. She's going for emerald. Taylor joined last week. She already has 7 loyal customers. Absolutely insane. Like, these people are totally killing it, and they're from TikTok. So if you want to be successful, success leaves clues. And I'm not saying be like me, be like Rachel. I'm saying be like you, but be the best version of yourself and get out of your comfort zone. Do the things that scare you, because it might be the thing that changes your business. And if you feel like you're stuck, but you're not doing everything that you could be, do the things that you're not doing. Ask yourself, evaluate, and say, am I doing the things that they're teaching? Because we've talked about Zooms and TikToks, and we've talked about TikToks and Reels so often on Zooms. And if you're still not doing it, my question to you is why? Why not? What is holding you back? Honestly, what's the worst that could happen? It's not that hard. It's really simple, and you can't really do it wrong. So just get out there and try, because I'll be so much more proud of you for trying than I will for you being perfect. Absolutely. So do you have any last tips on anything that we talked about, or just like a last like hoorah, you got this type anything?
Someone privately messaged me. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but she said, how do you find people on TikTok? You don't. You just post for yourself and you attract people that way. So in order to gain people, I've had a lot of people messaging me saying like, how, like not just on the Zoom, just in general, how do you gain your followers on TikTok? To me, that doesn't really matter. They just come, like I'm more caught up in like my Instagram followers. On TikTok, I'm just posting to post. I mean, yes, I would love for all of those things to raise, but I don't pay attention to likes and like the likes on my actual profile and stuff. I want my videos to go viral, but I'm not trying to like gain followers. I'm just trying to make good videos, and I'm following the ones that blow up for other people. And I'm just copying them. So maybe don't go in thinking like, how do I do this? Just do the videos and do what we say, and the rest will come automatically. For me, that's like, okay, that's a lot easier. And when it comes to Reels, just pick one and do it every single day and learn those things. Like I didn't know how to put a cover photo on to make it look prettier on my profile. So I asked Alyssa, like I just am a learner because I don't want to miss out. I really just have FOMO. It's really bad. And now I'm having so much fun. So if you guys aren't having fun, just do these things and just be consistent and show up, and nothing changes if nothing changes, So I understand we all have anxiety at different levels. We all have all of these excuses on why we shouldn't probably do it. But just do it anyways. And you're going to be glad. I saw someone saying the comments, she was like, I despised it. So did I. I specifically told my leaders, don't you dare download TikTok. It's a distraction. We don't need it. It's tacky. And then I realized I was very wrong. I mean, it is tacky in ways, but you don't have to follow those people, right? So anyways, I love you guys, and I just hope you guys feel the same like amount of fun that Morgan and I are having right now. I'm whooped. I'm exhausted. I really want a vacation, but I'm still enjoying it. So just know you don't have to always be like energetic and like, yes, I'm ready. I'm jumping out of bed at 5 a.m. like ready to go. That's not how it is. But once the coffee hits and once I like see how much fast starts I'm going to make and all these DTs, I'm like, yes, this is why I do it. And this is why I'm going to keep on going for that residual income, for that beach money, right? So just keep on going, stay the course, and ask questions if it doesn't make sense, but stop with the excuses. They will hold you back.
Yes, love it. And I put our Instagram handles in the chat because people are asking like, how many posts do you do every day? What do your reels look like? You know, how do you blend it together with your family? Just go look at our Instagrams and you'll see all of that in there. And hopefully it's helpful for you. Thank y'all for hopping on this